Alright guys, it's Shalom with the Paradox Gaming Network, and I am sorry I didn't get this out before I went on vacation. It was a total comedy of errors. I had a lot of real life things going on. Hot tub got installed, wrong electrician, wrong this, wrong that. I didn't have time to stream that last week before I went on vacation. Didn't have time to do the videos, but the vacation was great, and now I'm back in the office, because this is the office. Everyone needs that in their office. Anyway, want to keep you up to date on Ashes of Creation. I'm going to do the June store update, and I'm going to give you some random tidbits. I do have my trademark green notebook that I keep all the questions you guys ask, and I got some more answers dug up for you. So, new store stuff and for June stream highlights, a couple of highlights from other places. I didn't do splicings this time. I want to get this out to you. If people want to see the splices again, they want to see that source piece, let me know in the comments. If not, if you're good with what I say, then I will save a lot of time and not put the splices in. So the new store stuff, as always, here is your cost breakdown comparison. I show you what each pack costs, what you're paying for each. Still the same layout, no price changes yet, so it's the same as we've seen. I really do like this month's artwork. I really like the Freehold building and the Star Chaser vessel. Going to talk about boats a little bit later in the show. Concept art is a little bit difficult to see. Very cool turtle mount, and that eye, that Seer of the Infinite pet, I'm really thinking about dropping the $15 for it. I think it'll go good with the Necromancer kind of look I'm going for. By all means, I am not trying to tell you to invest in the game, just trying to show you what's out there for individual purchase. Remember, if you're new to the video series, haven't watched my other ones, you have to own the minimum package that the item you see. That's why I put the items across. So if you wanted that eye, you would only have to own the $150 package. If you owned it from a previous month, then you could buy the eye for $15 on its own. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, Jalan, $15 for a cosmetic. That's a lot for a game that's not out. Yes, it is, which is why I'm never going to try to push the stuff on you. Just remember, Ashes has a monthly subscription and no box fee. So this is just the way they help get the game paid for. Let's get into those tidbits. Number one thing that people keep coming back to me with is they keep having a concern about the staff size. People have said to me, Jalan, aren't you concerned that Intrepid's staff is really small? And I'm not. I'm really not. They're doing a lot of good, smart things. They had 27 people in-house, plus or minus updates that weren't publicized. So my last number was 25. Then I counted up the pictures. I got to 27. And they added 7 new hires. Their pictures aren't up yet. So that's bringing us to about 35 people plus or minus in-house. That's a pretty robust team when you think about it. They're also using 30 to 35 outside sources, and that was at the last update. I'm going to try to pester Steven to get some new numbers, just very solid, like, hey, here's July, and here's just the staff size and our outside numbers. And then don't forget, guys, they are leveraging partnerships. As I talked about in one of my videos, I believe it was actually the last video in this series, because they're not trying to do what Crowfall, Camelot, a lot of other games did, Chronicles, they're not trying to develop their own engine. They're using Epic Games' Unreal Engine 4. This means when they need assistance, they don't have to have a bunch of on-staff engineers. They can contact Epic Games and say, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what we're seeing, these are the results of our alpha tests, give us some help us tweak. So that's a huge difference in the development of Ashes versus the development of other games. They're not trying to build an engine along with building a game. If you read the recent Crowfall article on MMORPG, they say that they just sold their engine to another game. Like someone's going to develop a game on their engine. The problem with now is now they have to support that engine as well. So as far as the staff size, guys, do not worry about the staff size. Steven seems to have a plan. He has a roadmap to get up to 200 staff members. So really, stop worrying about the staff size. If you want to have worries, man, worry about something else. Let's talk about corruption. I know a lot of people don't like this corruption system. People feel that there is a very high penalty for PKing. And at first we thought that only death was going to clear your corruption. I'm a huge fan of that. If you want to be a bad boy, you want to kill other players who are just out there gathering or not really doing anything objective related, you should take a penalty for it. However, there was the discussion point of alternative methods to clearing your corruption. And there is a chance, a discussion, a possibility that quests might get rid of it. There might be a way to do quests. Now, if you played Arcage, you remember that there were quests in Marianople and Austera you could do to clear some infamy. And then there were some other ones scattered around the world. I liked what they said about it being a time sink. If you go off and be a bad boy or bad girl, and you have to go do something, you have to die, or you have to do a time sink. Now, this is what they said is probably the only alternative way of clearing your corruption. So it's either going to be on PvP deaths or a time sink doing quests. Again, it's all in theory on paper. We will definitely take a big look at this in alpha testing. We will make sure to knock this out, give them good feedback. Next one. Lore and nodes part 3. I know everyone wants to know more about the lore and they want to know about nodes part 3. We've been promised nodes part 3 for over about a year now. No, just about. Actually, just about. We were told we'd get it after PAX. Never said which PAX. What we got on the update for these things are they're working on their next major milestone. Not really sure what their next major milestone is. They haven't publicly said we want to get to this mile marker, but they've said when they reach that next milestone, information will start to flow again. So I'm okay with that. I want them, honestly, guys, if you follow my channel and you know how I want them to work, I honestly want them to just, seriously, no offense, I'm not trying to offend them, but I want you guys to just shut up and go make the game for 3 months. Like, go radio silent for a little bit and then come back. I think that's the best way to get us to that Q4 Alpha 1. Don't tell us what you're going to do, just go ahead and do it. I think that's just the best way for us to get, you know, to on-time delivery. Let's talk freeholds. There were some people have been asking me a lot about freeholds. I love the fact people want to own land. It's really become the mainstay of MMOs now. Owning land, having a piece of property, somewhere you can call home, somewhere you can run a business out of. Yes, for all of you people that want to run a tavern, you can do that on a freehold. You can have a farm on a tavern, or sorry, you can have a farm on a freehold, a lumber mill. You can raise trees. You can do a lot of things there. Obviously, more information to come. So people know, one more time, if you haven't watched my other videos, you can only place a freehold when the node of that freehold, the zone of influence, is level 3 or above. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail about nodes and zones of influence. I have a whole video that talks about that, breaks down what we know. So you can go there if you want more details or ask a question below. But you're going to have to get a certificate to place your plot. That's just to say this address is mine. Now, one key thing to remember, guys, this isn't Arcage with huge housing zones and 90 different properties all next to each other. Or like I was a land baron in Arcage, I had probably 57 properties. You get one on your account. And they're spread out. The wife and I have discussed like how we're going to do that, but we'll live as close to each other as we can. And then never mind, we won't go there. You will also need blueprints and materials to build the individual buildings. Now, a couple of things I want you to remember, not up on the slides. If your node is attacked, you're sieged, you're automatically registered as a defender for it. If your node falls below level 3, and its parent node falls below level 3, and it's not covered by another node, we're not quite sure how all that works. If your parent node falls below level 3, your freehold goes away because you can't own it anymore. The good news is that you don't lose your stuff, so we believe, so we've been told, always up to a change. What will happen is your blueprint, you will get a blueprint back for your freehold, so you drop it again and you're good to go. Another thing is that if your node is sieged, but it doesn't drop below level 3 and your freehold can remain, you might want to gather up your friends and double back to your freehold, because for a period of 2 hours after the successful siege, your freehold can be attacked as well. Maybe you get left alone. Maybe you inspired people to attack you. Maybe you don't. You're going to have to defend that freehold. So all little bits and pieces. Of course, if you want to know more, questions below. Ships. Ships are going to be the next big thing. They're going to be similar to Arcage and BDO. There's an upcoming blog series on ships, probably after that next milestone, and then probably after the lore and maybe the class blogs. We'll get it. We'll get it eventually. Ships are broken into classes of vessels. Ships can only be summoned from land. This is huge and keenly important for all you Arcage players. Don't be thinking that you're going to do the 10 people in your raid have a good galleon, and when the first one blows up, you're going to summon the next one. It doesn't work like that in Ashes. If you destroy a ship, you cripple the fleet. If you're moving, say, 2 trade ships, and you have 5 ships protecting, and you lose all 5 of the protecting ships, those trade ships might want to turn around and go back, because you're going to be sailing with no protection. You're going to have to make land somewhere. For more on that, you can go to YouTube and look up the Ashen Forge episode 15, A Night with Steven Sharif. Those guys did a real good job kind of pulling some ships information out of Steven. Zergs. I know another thing people are tired of. They're tired of Zergs. Every game we play, there's Zergs. Intrepid isn't going to do anything to stop alliances. They want to put the player and the massive back in MMORPG. They are going to remove fast travel. There's very, very, very limited fast travel in Ashes. Only one type of Metropolis, node level 6, has fast travel. So travel time is a big factor in how you stop Zergs. And like losing the boats in your fleet is another one. If you're a huge Zerg and I just whittle you down, by the time you get where you're going, you don't have any boats left. I don't have to completely destroy you. I just have to make dents in you. So that's really how they're going to stop Zergs. Crafting. Huge thing. I know there is a whole population of people who like to craft. Me, I'm a gatherer. I like to gather. I like to process. Crafting's cool. Not my favorite. So that you know, the crafting system is inspired by Star Wars Galaxies. Clearly the best crafting system ever. Yeah, I could definitely say nothing is better than Star Wars Galaxies as far as crafting. There's some others that are on the same par. I think Final Fantasy 14 does a very good job at crafting. But nothing's better than Star Wars. Choices are going to change your items. You're going to have certain dials that you can change on the gear. Going to change the output. Social organizations, which is a Kickstarter tier that was unlocked, will also impact crafting. May unlock some new dials. One of the examples given is that if you are high ranking in the Thieves Guild, you might have a crafting dial that allows you to modify leather armor to have more dex, since dexterity is what a rogue would want. And that's it, guys. As I do in every one of these shows, I always keep it 100% transparent. So I'm up to 108 unpaid referrals. I have $204 in unpaid earnings. That number is not 100% correct. The people at Intrepid are working with me. There is one transaction missing. I am 100% confident they will get it rectified. They have all the information. It's just a ghost in the machine. If you haven't registered, I'm going to ask you to please use my referral link. I put all of the money back into the Paradox Gaming Network. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to be doing Ashes giveaway since there's no trading of the cash shop items. Probably going to do Amazon gift cards as I've been doing recently as my giveaways. If you think you have registered under my referral code and made a purchase and I'm not reflecting, please email me and let's talk. You guys know 100% transparency is my goal. And as always, guys, huge thanks to all of you who hang out with me. I am back streaming this week, so it is actually Wednesday today that I'm making the video. I'll be back tonight. And then Friday is my usual show. And then a big, huge thanks to my sponsors at Patreon, Tyler, Jonathan, Jaywert, Luna Chaos, Maury, and Nikita. Great people. They actually were responsible for me being able to give away a copy of Bless. And now I have kind of a pile of money that all the transactions have cleared. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with them, all yet, but I'm going to do something with it as we move forward. And that's it, guys. Let me go into post-production and get this done, and then let me go build a gazebo out in the yard. And I will see you tonight on Twitch. Hey, where are you going? You're not done yet. See these videos? There's videos up here to watch. You gotta go over here. Hit the chibi. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the webpage. And I'll see you guys on Twitch.